My wife asked why I was crying at our son's graduation, then said, "Don't make this about you for once." I wiped my face with my sleeve and pretended I hadn't heard her. Our son Dylan was walking across that stage in his cap and gown, the first person in my entire family to graduate college, and my wife was annoyed that I was emotional. She didn't know what I was really crying about. Nobody did. 3 months earlier, my doctor had sat me down and explained that the headaches I'd been ignoring for 2 years were a brain tumor, inoperable, terminal. I had maybe 18 months if I was lucky. I hadn't told anyone because I didn't want to ruin Dylan's final semester. I didn't want my illness to overshadow his achievement. So I sat in that auditorium, watching my boy shake hands with the dean, knowing I probably wouldn't see him get married or hold his first child. And my wife thought I was being dramatic. That's the thing about our marriage. Somewhere along the line, I became the supporting character in my own life. When Dylan was born, I took a second job delivering packages at night so my wife could stay home with him. She told everyone how exhausted she was from raising a newborn alone. When I got promoted to floor manager after 15 years at the plant, she complained that I'd be working longer hours. When my father died and I took a week off to grieve, she asked when I was planning to snap out of it because the lawn needed mowing. Everything I felt was an inconvenience to her. Every emotion I expressed was me making it about myself, so I stopped expressing them. I learned to cry in the shower. I learned to smile when I was breaking inside. I became the reliable, invisible man who paid the bills and fixed the leaky faucets and never asked for anything in return. After the ceremony, Dylan found us in the crowd. He hugged his mother first, which was fine, expected. But when he turned to me, something shifted. "Dad," he said, his voice cracking. "I know." I froze. "I found the paperwork in your office, the medical stuff. I've known for 2 months." My wife's face went pale. "What medical stuff?" Dylan ignored her. He just held me while I sobbed into his graduation gown. 18 years of suppressed emotions pouring out in a parking lot surrounded by strangers. "Why didn't you tell us?" my wife demanded. "Why didn't you tell me?" I looked at her, really looked at her, and said the truest thing I'd ever spoken. "Because you would have made it about how my dying inconvenienced you." The car ride home was silent. My wife stared out the window while Dylan sat in the back, occasionally reaching forward to squeeze my shoulder. When we pulled into the driveway, she finally spoke. "That's not fair. I've spent 20 years building this family." I turned off the engine. "No, you spent 20 years building your version of this family. One where I work, I provide, I stay quiet, and I never need anything. And I let you, because I thought that's what good husbands did." She started crying. I felt nothing. "I skipped my own mother's funeral because you said we couldn't afford the flight," I continued. "I missed Dylan's first steps because I was working overtime to pay for the kitchen renovation you wanted. I haven't seen my sister in 8 years because you decided you didn't like her husband. And not once, not one single time, have you asked me if I was happy." The next few weeks were chaos. My wife oscillated between guilt and anger, sometimes apologizing, sometimes accusing me of holding grudges. Dylan moved back home to spend time with me, which she resented because it disrupted her routine. But something had broken inside me. That wall I'd built to protect everyone else had crumbled, and I couldn't rebuild it. I started saying no. No to the dinner parties I hated. No to the weekend errands that consumed my only free time. No to pretending I was fine when I wasn't.